This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to Sports, everybody. I'm Chris Saunders. Breaking news coming in today. The Court of Arbitration for Sport upheld the IOC decision to ban all Russian athletes from the Rio Olympics over the country's alleged state-sponsored doping regime. This now means the country's 4x4 women's team could very well be invited to the Rio Games. Now, this decision by the Swiss-based Court of Arbitration for Sport increases the possibility that the IOC will now exclude Russia from all sports, not just track and field, and that strengthens the decision on track and field as well. That would mark the deepest crisis in the Olympic movement since the US and Soviet boycotts of the 1980s, and would be a grave blow to a nation that prides itself on its status as a sporting superpower. Russia is one of the world's foremost sporting powers, which won the third biggest overall medal haul at the last Summer Olympics in 2012 in London. Though some of those results are now in question because of doping suspicions. The ban on Russia's track and field team going to Rio was imposed last November by the IAAF after an independent report uncovered rampant state-sponsored doping in Russian athletics. It was maintained in June after the IAAF Council ruled that not enough progress had been made in transforming Russia's anti-doping program. The IAAF released a statement today saying that they have taken a strong stance on upholding the World Anti-Doping Code without fear and favor, and is pleased that the Court of Arbitration for Sport has supported its position. The World Body for Track and Field said that today's judgment has created a level playing field for athletics. Yesterday, during the Team Bahamas announcement, BOC Secretary General Romel Fish-Knowles was still waiting on word, and they still are, on the fate of the Russian athletics, as our girls 4x4 team is currently 17th in the world, and only the top 16 teams make it to the Olympics. Now, if that suspension stands on Russia, our girls get in.
It's a very technical matter because obviously the IAAF wants to take a hard stand against cheating in sports, and Russia is saying, the athletes that, some of the athletes in Russia are saying, well, you shouldn't beat me with that stick because we've never tested dirty.
We'll continue to follow that. Some news coming in from the World Under-20 Championships going on in Poland. In the discus final, Serena Brown just finished out of the medals, 173 feet, her best throw, a record for the Bahamas, and also her personal best. She was just about 3 feet short of making the medal stand there. And then in the 200-meter semifinal for men, Samson Colebrook finished fifth in his heat, 21-3, his best run, but still he does not advance to the finals as well. New Orleans Pelican forward Buddy Hield says he is ready to compete in the league and says he plans to have a positive attitude when the league actually starts. Now, he says he's confident he will do good, but he says he needs to stay humble along the way. Buddy remembers that success is not an overnight process.
You can't get too high and can't get too low. You got to stay right in the middle because 82 games and anything can happen. You know, you just got to stay healthy and all that stuff. So I just got to take it day by day, one game at a time, and don't think ahead.
Come next week, the best amateur golfers in the region will hit the Ocean Club golf course after going after the Caribbean Amateur Golf Championships. Team Bahamas says that they are ready to take on the region.
Ready. We've been putting a lot of effort and time into it. Everybody has some strong points. This team seems to be very strong. We have a lot of young guys on the team and ladies. So I think we're going to do pretty well.
We're getting just small things sorted out, working around the green, stuff like that, getting team bonding, stuff like that. So I think we're prepared.
I love the practice rounds and I can't wait for next week. It's our year, it's in our country. We have to represent and make our country proud.
A local basketball team is looking to make a big impact this weekend as they head to Orlando. Jonathan Benson tonight tells us about their big plans.
The Defenders Against Delinquency Support Basketball Club, better known as DADS, will leave town later this week for a pair of tournaments in Orlando, Florida. They will compete in the Disney Classic and the Back to School Jam, and for a number of the players, this will be their second time competing at this level, having gotten their feet wet last year.
I think it was a learning experience. We got to see that the game is played a little different. The size of players is a bit different. It was a pretty good exposure. We came over, I think, with about 3 wins, which is pretty good. We lost by the largest margin of 13, and I think we played about 3 Nike Elite teams. Okay, so I thought that we were pretty good.
As for the expectations this time around,
I think that we're better. I think that we got bigger. We lost 1 or 2 players because of financial support. but I think that we're going to be better. I think that, like last time, some of our players had the jitters and they had to work their way into it. But I think it's going to be different now. I think we're going to be right out there. I think we're ready to compete. Our weakest division is going to be the 15 and under, because we lost a lot of players that went up. Okay, 13 and under is pretty good. The players in the 13 and under division, Dante DeMerit, Kevin Thompson, these guys, they got better. I think they got better over the summer. We made some pickups. Brandon Duncanson. We got a little bit more athletic, a little size. We lost Mateo Taylor going up to the 15 and under. I think though that even though the 15 and under team got a little bit weaker, I think as far as balance, all the teams are respectable.
Jonathan Benson, ZNS Total Sports.
A really nice facility there at the Wild World of Sports. That'll do it for sports, though. I'm Chris Saunders. Your final look at weather is still to come.
This is ZNS Total Sports.